The new decade is already a month old.
And the beginning of February on a leap year always marks an important event in a particular Midwestern state. Coming up on today's show, Savannah previews the Iowa caucuses, which kicks off voting for the presidential primary.
Tyler talks with Mr. Morgan about an upcoming production.
And Davis joins the General Assembly of the new Model UN Club on campus.
Stay tuned, you're watching Roar TV. Good morning, Oviedo. I'm Kylie McFarland.
And I'm Margaret from Ninio. Today is Monday, February 3rd, 2020.
So, it's the day after Groundhog Day?
But it doesn't really matter what the groundhog saw for us because we're in Florida, so at worst, we're talking 6 more weeks of a light jacket.
In fact, we're actually looking at some highs in the 80s this week, so February isn't looking to be that intimidating weather-wise.
We got a great show to kick off the second month of 2020. Let's get it started with the pledge. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey Oviedo, it's Brooke here with this week's question on Twitter. On Friday, Seminole County Public Schools will name the Countywide Teacher of the Year, and Oviedo High's own Mr. Furiosi is one of 3 finalists. This week, tell us about a teacher, past or present, who has made a difference and inspired you. Let us know using hashtag TellOHS, and you could see your response on the broadcast. That's it for me. Let's get back to the show.
No matter the actions of a groundhog, it's always a cold day in Iowa this time of year.
But the residents of that state will be venturing out today to participate in the Iowa caucuses. They're the first state to participate in selecting the Democratic nominee for president.
But the way they cast their vote differs a bit from how we do it here in Florida. Reporter Savannah Rodriguez explains.
Every 4 years, the country gears up for the presidential primary season where political parties select their nominee for President of the United States. And Seminole County has its role to play.
The logistics, it's quite a bit. And it's actually what we're doing as we speak right now. We are getting ready for the presidential preference election.
But tonight, the state of Iowa will be the first state to cast votes in what's called a caucus, a process which can be very different from the primary conducted here in Florida.
They go to a central meeting room and then they start to farm out to different places to see who they're going to vote for. And then they go around and count, and if they don't get enough votes, then they have to leave that area and go back to the main room or go vote for somebody else.
During a primary, you vote with a ballot. But during a caucus, you vote with your feet.
Folks are literally in the public going to stand in those areas and publicly show their support for a candidate.
To demonstrate how this would look, we gathered a few classes totaling 119 students together in the gym and asked them all to vote for their preferred School Spirit Week dress-up theme. They were given a list of 12 options and could vote for one. Precinct captains representing each theme stood in different corners of the gym, attempting to get students to stand in their corner to cast a vote for the dress-up day they were representing. After one round of voting, only 3 of the 12 Spirit Week candidates had earned at least 15% of the vote, which in this case was a minimum of 18 votes. After determining which candidates were viable, we proceeded with the realignment period, where voters of non-viable candidates had the chance to then cast a vote for one of the viable options. After the realignment, the tally was gender swap with 48 votes, Patriotic or USA Day with 31 votes, and Pajama Day with 24 votes. 16 people in attendance abstained from voting after realignment.
Primary is a more private way of voting, whereas a caucus on the Democratic side in Iowa will be a public show of support.
But having to get out in public isn't as easy to do for some voters.
Personally, I would prefer doing a primary because I have like a busy schedule now, and it would have to be like they talked about everyone at the same time, and I definitely wouldn't really have too much time to do it because I have work and school, like babysitting and whatnot. So you have to get everyone together and get everything like situated. It's just easier to go in, sort of like show your ID, show who you are, write down the ballot, and then you can go.
And though it may not be the most convenient method for some, this process is how Iowa will divide up its delegates, which select the Democratic nominee for president. For Roar TV, I'm Savannah Rodriguez.
And if you're going to be 18 by Tuesday, March 17th, then you're eligible to vote in the Florida presidential primary. However, you do have to be registered by February 18th.
Attention seniors, Decision Day at Seminole State College will be held on February 14th. Spend the day with your friends and learn everything you need to know about Seminole State. Transportation and lunch will be provided. You'll even have the chance to win some great prizes. Permission slips are due to Miss Washington in the guidance office by Wednesday, February 6th. Sign up to attend at seminolestate.edu/decisionday.
Italian Club will be selling delicious chocolate cake pops for $1 until February 7th. Cake pops will be delivered on Valentine's Day to third period classes. See an Italian Club member or Mrs. Vitale in 13-017 to buy one.
Boys volleyball will be having tryouts today from 7 to 9 p.m. in the old gym. If interested, you will need a white card and tryout packet from athletics. If you are currently playing another sport, please let Coach Schneider know, and he can work around your athletic schedule. If you have any questions, stop by athletics.
Oviedo High School will be hosting a life-saving blood drive tomorrow, February 4th, 2020. Sign-ups are in the Commons during lunch. Giving blood will also count as 1 hour of community service.
Oviedo's water polo team challenges everyone and anyone to a water polo match. Water Polo versus the World is on February 7th at 6:30 p.m. at the Oviedo Aquatic Center. Any Oviedo athlete can play. See Coach Mason in room 813 for details.
Seniors, Grad Bash tickets are available before or after school in Miss Coomer's room 1-207. Tickets are now $100. February is Black History Month, and in a couple weeks, our auditorium will host the annual Black History Month show.
Reporter Tyler Crush spoke to one of our assistant principals, Mr. Morgan, to learn more about the production.
Hey Oviedo, I'm Tyler Crush here with Mr. Morgan talking about the Black History Month show happening later this month. Now, Mr. Morgan, what can we expect to see in this show?
Well, I've been here 9 years, and we've had this show every year, and we partner with a local church community outreach program, and it's really designed to highlight and celebrate African American history and culture. And throughout the years I've been here, we've had all types of performances, actors, singers, dancers, puppet shows, poetry readings, and there's always a keynote speaker as well.
And who can we expect to see in the show besides students?
Usually the performers are local, again, church groups, choirs. The puppet performance is also from local church groups. So they're all local people to here to Oviedo.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Don't forget to come out February 22nd to see this Black History Month show here at Oviedo. Let's get back to the show.
This week, there's quite a bit of action in athletics as winter sports teams are gearing up for postseason play.
Riley Finnegan is in studio for today's O-Town Sports Report.
Hey Oviedo, it's Riley with your O-Town Sports Update. Last Thursday, girls varsity soccer defeated University 11-0 in the first round of district playoffs. Liz LeBlanc and Reza Lugo were the top scorers with 3 goals each. On Thursday, girls basketball beat Haggerty at both levels. Varsity won 59-30 with Brigitte Trevino leading the team 19 points. On Friday, boys varsity basketball defeated Lake Mary 71-40. Mamouche Galloway and J.R. Newman led the way with 15 points for varsity. Boys varsity soccer fell to Timber Creek 3-1 in the district quarterfinals to conclude their season. On Saturday, girls weightlifting competed at regionals at Haggerty High School. Alexis Jones and McKenna Presley made it to states, with Alexis placing first and McKenna placing second in their weight classes. A little over a week ago, boys basketball hosted Winter Springs for a regular season matchup, and we were there for the highlights. On January 22nd, your Oviedo Lions boys basketball team took on the Winter Springs Bears. The tip-off was won by the Lions, but the two traded defense until Jacob Rose sunk his second 3 of the game, putting the Lions up 6-2. Another 3 by Mamouche Galloway put the Lions up by 3 more. At the start of the second period, Jacob Rose sunk another three, and a free point ended the first half, with the Lions up 29-20. The Lions dominated the third period, scoring 16 versus the Bears 5, and that streak started with this three by Matt Strickland. And when a Bears player missed the ball, the Lions were able to capitalize with another three by Jacob Rose. The final Oviedo score of the game was a three by Caleb Barr, and your Lions took the victory, 57-39. Tomorrow, girls soccer hosts Winter Park at 7:30 for the district semifinals. Girls basketball hosts University at 7 for the district quarterfinals, and boys basketball competes in the SAC tournament. Now back to the studio.
Finally, being an election year, there's been no shortage of primetime political debates covering a variety of issues.
But one club here on campus gives students a chance to put their knowledge of issues on the international level to the test.
Reporter Davis Cruz explores some of the intricacies of diplomacy with the Model United Nations Club.
Alliances form,
I would like to say that we agreed with the delegate of Iraq.
and conflict is inevitable.
I feel like the chair is doing a poor job at keeping the conference on track.
But it's all a part of the experience of a new club on campus.
So our new Model United Nations Club is a way for students to come and act as if they were part of the real United Nations. So what each student does is that they take one country and they pre-vote on what they're going to discuss in the meeting. And then what they do is they argue and they talk as if they are the delegate from that country.
It models the real United Nations, so everything is super formal. It follows the real United Nations protocol. So we'll usually begin with a speakers list, or so it's called, which is essentially just a normal list of countries in the order they want to speak in, and they provide some general ideas on what their stance on the topic is. Then you move on to these moderated caucuses, which are more back and forth, traditional debate, where a country says something and then other countries can respond back, and it's like a real debate.
Seeing as the United Nations has 193 members, this is one club where new members can instantly enhance the experience. More interesting with more people that have more ideas and that can represent their country exactly as their country or delegate from a particular nation would conduct themselves in a real United Nations session.
And while club meetings may at times get silly and feel like something out of a sitcom,
what we need to focus on is how to destroy Peru, specifically one person who lives there.
Madam Ambassador, are you changing the scenario? We didn't prepare for this.
solving problems and finding solutions is really the name of the game.
This club offers several things that are going to help students in the long run. First is to debate, because when you debate, it's not fighting. It's talking, working things through. It's not necessarily getting angry or frustrated. It's working together to come to a conclusion. It's also really great to help students who need to understand that using a foreign language and understanding how other countries work is important.
The club meets in Miss Huffman's or Miss Henger's room twice a month in case you're interested. For more TV, I'm Davis Cruz.
Prom is in about 2.5 months, and tomorrow we'll have a special reveal for you guys.
Make sure to tune in for that. Have a wonderful Monday, Oviedo.
We'll see you back here tomorrow.